Good evening, everyone out there. Thank you so much for being patient through these technical difficulties we seem to be having here. Um, Not sure what the explanation is, other than just a lot of energy that is evidently coming through with tonight's title, Subtle Rates. So, speaking of rates, for anyone out there joining us, be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. The first time there's no charge for readings, but going forward after that, it's $10 per card, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. That's 3 shows per week, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, not much to say tonight on the topic, but Christopher does have a lot to share. So thanks again for tuning in. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, thank you all so much for being patient. Things like this happened. Remember about a month ago, somehow Facebook wasn't picking up our channel? Well, it did it again. So I apologize. So if you're joining us on YouTube or twitch.tv, great blessings to you. I light the incense for you. And this is for amazing opportunities to come your way. So great blessings to you in all these opportunities, because that's our group card for tonight, is the ripple effect, and how our thoughts really affect our reality. And noticing that what we're thinking is creating our reality. So if we could, there's a group card. Okay, so we've got the ripple effect, which is deliberate. Effects from your ripple effect are what you're manifesting, and from your ripple effect are what you're manifesting. So this is about blessing you with purposeful action without any fear tainting that purposeful action. This card and the energy behind this card, it promotes energies that are creative. So if you're in some type of project, or you're wondering what to do next, this is the energy that feeds you. It's the energy that's going to come through to you. And Lindsay says, I'm having a ripple effect or echo. Sorry about that, Lindsay. Thank you for letting us know. And so maybe shut off your microphone. We're going to shut off one of the microphones. So I don't know, when the show does this, or the things around the show does this, energy's up. So it's basically transformatory energy. You know, it rarely happens. So I'm going to view this as a good thing. It's very fitting for tonight's topic. Yes, it is, Lindsay. It absolutely is. That you have these deliberate actions, and this creation goes out. Trust that your creation is being developed. It's being sent to you, and that's one of the major lessons for all of us. Excuse me. So basically, expect an influx of opportunities for yourself. Okay. Did we reboot? Okay, we're good. All right. Kennan's wheels are spinning. He's trying to figure all this out, and I think Abby and Marilyn are on. I just got a text from them too.
Working on putting the list together here.
Jared and Kat are on YouTube.
Thank you.
And don't worry about it. Everyone's coming in. If I have to call each of you individually and pull a card, you know I'll do that. But hopefully, Lindsay, did the ripple effect, did the sound quit? Did the ripple effect, as far as the sound goes, or the echo, did we fix that? Let us know. Hey, Abby, you're here. So Abby and Marilyn are here.
Jeff is there.
Jeff is here.
Austin and Lindsay.
Austin and Lindsay, okay. All right. The gang is getting together. And then toward the end of the show, I'm going to introduce Duncan Hepburn, the neuroscientist, because we wanted to work out any kinks. He's just going to say hello at the end of the show, just to make sure that we know that everything's running good Wednesday night. Because the show Wednesday night is going to be around the brain. And the reason I wanted to really talk about the brain is we've talked about this on the show before. As humans, we basically only see 7 colors. But there are thousands, if not millions, of undiscovered colors that we're just simply not able to see. We're only able to hear a certain range. We can only smell a certain range. And so how can we develop the brain to actually assist us in our spiritual growth? And that's a major component of what I do, because it's not just the information. As all you all know, when I'm doing a reading, it's about changing the energy around what that information contains. And I think you'll find the show on Wednesday really, really helpful. I don't know how many readings I'll be able to do on Wednesday, but I think the information will be absolutely every bit as valuable. We're going to work that out. We're going to see if you join the chat, we'll be able to answer some of your questions about the brain when Duncan is on. I did post on Facebook his biography. He's one of the leading neuroscientists today. He's done work for the Mayo Clinic. So we're having him on at the end of the show just to make sure that our Zoom works. So we've got Meryl. Who have we got on first?
Austin.
Okay, Austin. First and foremost. Well, good. Austin. Success. What a great card to start the show with. Thank you. Bringing the energy in around that success. This is looking at your successes free of ego, and look at what you've been able to accomplish. Be free of focusing on your faults. So we talked about the group card tonight, about the ripple effect. Deliberate goals. Look at the goals you've accomplished. Use that same energy, that joy, bring that in to your future success. You've got something really important coming up that's going to be very, very successful. So that's going to filter down to Jeff, Lindsay, Marilyn, Kat, Jared, Abby, and Marilyn, everybody on the show. And if you're watching, please say something in the chat, especially tonight, because we're not sure who's here. But if you're on Twitch or YouTube, just say hi.
We are sure who's here.
What's that?
We are sure who's here.
We are sure who's here. Okay. That came from Kenan. All right. So, Austin, back to you. There's an expansion. So, universe, show me how to expand what it is that I do. Show me how to expand, because I get the 4 directions here. So with your business or with your goals or even with your spiritual development, universe, show me now how to expand. Show me now how to remove any obstacles, even things that I'm really unaware of. Because the title of the show is Subtle Rates. The subtler rates are, for instance, these colors that we don't see, the sounds that we don't hear, the smells we don't smell, the feelings that our ability, the kinesthetic touch. These are developing, and I find, like, even with Jared and Kat, even with your children, and maybe even you've noticed, Lindsay, with your children, they really do in many ways seem a lot more advanced. That they're aware, they can see things, believe them. I can only tell you, believe your kids. Believe what they're saying, listen to them. So this is more excitement coming in for you, Austin. That's really important for you.
Jeff is next.
Okay, hey Jeff. So Jeff, I'm going to pull 2 cards for you tonight. Do 2 readings because you do $100 a month contribution. Thank you so much. So when you prune a tree, Jeff, when you clean up a tree, you do have to cut off the dead branches. And it's important for you to cut off some people that aren't they just don't have the capability. They don't have, and it's nothing personal against them. It's just that you have certain goals, and in any way, shape, or form where you're having to fire people or let people go or stop associating with them, are you willing to let go of it feeling or being a defeat toward them? It's just you're moving energy, and it's really important for you to be surrounding yourself with higher energetic people. When that happens, the lower energetic people, they need to drop off. And that's important because if you're carrying someone or enabling someone, it's not serving them, it's not serving you in any way, shape, or form. No. It's really important to allow people to hit rock bottom, and sometimes that lesson comes from cutting them off energetically, whether it's literally firing them, letting them go. Rather than think of yourself as being a badass in doing that, think of yourself as a good ass, right? Because it's actually a service to them. I think you know what I mean. All right, let me pull another card for you, Jeff. Especially this is the case with the Tower card. So people and things that you used to think were your tower, were your strength, it's dissipation. This is the falling away of what no longer serves you. But Jeff, it is such a vital part of life. It can be really, really challenging, really tough, but just keep going. Know that this tower that falls is necessary in order to create a new structure. And that's what's coming your way, is this new structure. But this defeat card and the Tower card is necessary. But it's like a huge hurricane or a storm or a fire that comes through the land, right? It burns off all the dangerous undergrowth. It burns off, the hurricane cleans. It's cleansing. That's what the Tower card is. So just hang in there. It's got to happen in order to reach where you're really wanting to go. All right, my dear Lindsay. This is the Knight of Wands. So when you think of knights in King Arthur's court, or knights in general, I think of them as beings of service. And so it's important, like when we're partnering with people, whether it's relationship or business, Lindsay, to look at the service that they do for mankind or to help others. For instance, I work for a company, and they every year do quite a bit of charity work, especially for animals. That's the company voted on what was important to the majority of the people, and so we work. The company works with animals. Look at the charity. Look at and then what this partner or what these people go through to help you. Are they going through the fire in order to help you, to be of service to you? Is it a match, right? I'm not saying you lay on the couch and have people feed you grapes and fan you with palm fronds, because you're doing your work too. Because you're great service to your kids and to your work and to your art. And that art, understand that art is part of your contribution to the world. It's why it's so important. So in a way, it's like your charity. You're being able to give to people that work, but charge for it, because that's like recompense. It's how we work on this planet. It really is. It's how the energy of this planet is right now. But understand that there's great reward in the service of others. Okay, my dear Marilyn. You got the Power card. And the Prince of Cups. So the Power card is there's something with number one, your work. So it's and so I don't know if you're needing to get a new phone or a new computer. There's something with writing, and and then this has to do with like Marilyn Maddox too, with the writing. But a couple of things. So It's hot and cold plunges. You can do some research on this. But like going to a spa, looking at hot and cold plunges. I don't know why that's important, but it is. And your mind, your brain, you're going to love this. You're going to love Duncan when he comes on Wednesday because of the tips that we've already kind of talked about, what we'd like to talk about, and understand. You know, he went to school for many years, so he's going to really share the highlights or the tidbits of this. But this is you coming out of, it's like Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind at the end of the movie where she's running through the fog going, rat, rat. And she's thinking about what she thought she wanted. And she can't find him in the fog. Well, the fog was there for a reason, so she could go inward and really focus on what she actually wanted, which was Tara, which was her home where she grew up. So this is the fog clearing for you. And it's particularly, I don't know how that ties in with like a computer or a new phone, but it's like your communication or your ability to communicate. Okay, so it's like upgrading. When you upgrade your computer, you get a faster computer, a bigger drive. What do you call it? Huh?
An upgrade.
Upgrade, yeah. It's like an upgraded computer. This is like upgrading your brain, right? Your brain is so much like a computer. And clearing the fog. Like the fog is clearing. Now, when you do get into a fog, know that it's going to clear. But this is the Prince of Cups, so you're moving out of the fog and into this, you've got this eagle, which is pulling you forward into heights you couldn't even imagine. So again, this is moving beyond this, moving into the subtler rates. And those subtler rates, if some of you missed it, is talking about expanding our ability and our brain's capacity to hear more, to see more, to feel more. It's expanding the senses and talking about undiscovered senses that we didn't even know we had. That's what you're moving into. It's really good. All right, my dear Kat and Jared. So, Kat, you've got the satiety card, which is fulfillment. And then the kidneys have to deal with fear, disappointment. Not that there's a problem with your kidneys, I'm not saying that. But they symbolize any fear or disappointment and when the fear comes up, you know, it's like pulling a weed, and it's a little weed on the surface, but when you pull it up, the root system can be really big. So any fear that you're experiencing right now, know that it has kind of a deeper entrenchment into areas you have not even thought of, but that's being pulled up. And disappointment is really, different level of fear or a different kind of fear, but it's still related to fear. So you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. I'm safe. I recommend everybody on the show do 1,000 of these a day. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. That's one of the things that Duncan will talk about. It's one of the major things I've learned. It is so simple, but it's a crossover movement that integrates the brain. So it also builds neural pathways in the brain just simply by doing this and joining it with a affirmation like I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. And then when the fear leaves, you begin to see more. It's literally like Marilyn's card earlier about the fog being lifted. That is a major thing. So, and then have Jared rub your back. All right, Jared. Wow. So this is the Moon card again. And the adjustment. So there's a story about the Native Americans that now understand this is a story, so I don't know if it's absolutely true, but it makes sense to what we were talking about with the subtler rates. But when the large ships from Europe came in, it said that they really couldn't see them. They could see the small rowboats that were leaving the ships as they were coming to the shore, but they didn't have a concept. They didn't have a concept of a large ship like that. So what you're moving into, Jared, is, and all of us, I will say all of us, is allowing your brain to see the ships. We're moving into a time of where those subtler rates, they are expanding, especially with people that have done a lot of personal work on themselves over the years. And again, I'm going to go back to Cap. I'm going to have you, Jared, do this. I am safe, I am safe, I'm safe. I'm safe with the subtle. I'm safe with seeing the unseen. I'm safe with what I've not been able to see before. I'm safe with what I've not been willing to see before. And it's releasing all the judgment on yourself. I mean, big time. Or judgment on how things should be or need to be or have to be. And that's going to clear and open new pathways for you for the office, the spa. Think bigger. Be free of contracting. Anytime Kat or Jared, you're in fear, anytime anyone is in fear, it's contracting the energy. Be free of it and look at expand. How can I expand this? How can I expand this? Any disappointment, how can I expand this? Any judgment of myself, how can I expand this? Anywhere where you believe that something was wrong with you, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that? And you're very kinesthetic, so notice how you're feeling through certain energy fields, or how you feel around certain people. That's going to be increasing too. And trust that. Trust your gut. All right, my dear Abby. Victory. Now I got to tell you, Abby, the first thing I saw I didn't see victory, I saw viceroys. Which I think, when I was growing up, those were cigarettes. All right, hang on. Let me pull something else here. So Abby, you've got the victory card, or I'll call it the viceroy card, and the magus. All right. So I know Ashley Sosowski is not on the show right now. But the reason I'm telling you this, Abby, is I want to read what happened last night. So if you remember, Abby, Ashley last night got the hummingbird card. And I hang on, because I know this has something to do with you. But she texted me right after the show. And you remember I said there's this hummingbird around, and it's dealing with somebody that embroidered hummingbirds. Well, anyway, she texted me right away. She said, we went to go see my 85-ish-year-old grandmother. She and my grandfather were married for 65 years, and he passed away in 2014. He always called hummingbirds humdingy-doos. Humdingy-doos. So many times since his passing, hummingbirds have appeared. For example, one came in the garage where my sister and I were standing and hung out for a while. Another time, the albino hummingbird visited me while I was drinking coffee on my front porch. Later, that same hummingbird hovered around my daughter's head outside in the yard. Now, however, while visiting my grandmother, who embroiders hummingbirds on pillowcases, she's not doing well, and she's refusing care. She's been on my mind tremendously because she was more like a mother to me than my mom. So tonight, before the show, I asked my papa to give me a message that Gran is okay, and you delivered. Much gratitude. Well, it's spirit that delivered. But that hummingbird, and knowing that he was around, and especially around his wife of 65 years, was really profound. Now, Abby, why I told you this story is I get a grandfather. And it's like Viceroy cigarettes, but they're cigarettes. So I don't know if you've been getting whiffs of cigarettes or the smell of cigarettes, but there's this it's the magus, it's the grandfather. And he I will tell you, pay attention to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. Watch where your imagination goes. Not watch, but pay attention to where your imagination is. there's somehow these messages are being delivered to you, and you go, well, wait a minute, where did that come from? It's from this family on the other side. It's a viceroy. It's a victory. Well, I know you don't know any of your grandparents. I don't know any of my grandparents. But they do know you. Remember, expand, expand, expand. They definitely know you. There is something, it's this family connection that's coming through.
She smells them, she says.
But yes, I asked Marilyn if she smells them. My mom was a smoker, and so was Marilyn's mom. Yeah, there's this. It's like it's your mom's dad, of course, with your mom with that. But there's some magic around it. So I know you're smelling cigarettes. Well, that's your. I don't. It's like you have use your sense of smell. Pay attention to your sense of smell. That's part of the brain. That's part of the senses that are expanding. But then ask them, okay, what do you want? Tell me the message. Give me the message, and then be open. Be more open. So anywhere where you've claimed that you don't know your grandparents, or that they know you, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that? They absolutely know you. Yeah. Okay. All right, my dear Marilyn. Marilyn, look up spirit animal horse. Look at Marilyn. Look at. I would look at a couple books on Native American spirituality. You've got this Native American chief around you. It's very clear to me, and this has never actually come through before like this. It's almost like a manifestation of Mother Earth, and how well the Native Americans cared for the earth or respected the earth, just worked in conjunction with the earth. He's talking about looking at like having your minerals evaluated, or what minerals you're taking, or what minerals you may lack or need. there's a connection here. No matter how disconnected it seems. So if you've looked at drone footage, right, and if it's very high, you can't really make out the details of the Earth. But you bring the drone in, and then you begin to see people. You can even bring it down to where you can see their faces, you can see houses, all of that. This is your expansive, your being or your soul, or it's expanding. I'm always and forever safe in my expansion. I'm always and forever safe in my expansion, because I get like these downloads, especially like from these ancient chiefs, but it's also combining that into the modern day and bringing something new to the planet. But any dizziness that you're experiencing, I'm always and forever safe and comfortable with my expansion. I'm always and forever safe and comfortable with my expansion. All right, my dear John. This is this trip to Africa. One of the top hits of 1956 was "Take a Trip to Africa, Happy, Happy Africa, Come on along and learn the lingo, beside a jungle bungalow." Lana probably knows what I'm talking about with that one. But the year we were born, John, that was the top song. Anyway, so like Marilyn was studying about, there's a reason you're going there, and it's not just for photography. I would highly recommend you doing research, because I know nothing really about African culture or African archetypes, African gods or goddesses, but you're going there to connect with a very high, intense power. In many ways, it's going to feel like going home. It's going to be like very familiar to you. So be aware of downloads, ideas, like I told Abby. Be open to that. Go with your gut. It's sometimes, like even with Marilyn, right, that I just read for, like Indian Chief really makes no sense to me, but or Abby with the cigarette smoke. It just is there, and it's allowing it. So trust that guidance, John. Because the other thing too is pomegranate juice. I don't know the benefits of pomegranate juice really off the top of my head, but it's just one of those things where pomegranate juice. And then it's classifying, or not classifying, but branching out on what you love to take pictures of. What is your photography doing? It's like this tree and different branches of a tree. The tree is the photography, but the different branches are, like we were talking about last night, with landscapes, animals, trees, whatever it is. Look at what it is you want to, what it is you love, and that love will be conveyed in every picture you take. Okay, my dear Abby. I mean, Lana. I was looking at Abby's comment. Sorry, Lanny. Okay, here we go. Thanks for being on the show tonight. So I wanted to share this. Lana's actually writing a story about this event that's been going on for a few months now. And some of you are familiar with it. I'm going to try to condense it. But this is where and we're doing this, you can text Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
He's
good.
he should come on the show.
Okay.
Time's off.
So anyway, Lana had these two people. Well, these two people died as a brother and sister died in the house. Lana ended up finding their heirs. And yesterday, she was able to meet finally face to face with these heirs. And in part of the house, there was a white room with white rug, white walls, beautiful windows, as Lana described. And when the cousin came up and met Lana, the cousin told her that her aunt used to have a table in there and she would light a candle and pray for people. And sometimes her aunt would walk into the room and the candle would light itself. And so the aunt knew to pray for a certain person or a certain situation. Well, Lana, during all these weeks and months, would always go to that room because she felt so much blessing there, so much light. And then she understood why, because the cousin told her what that room was used for. And so it was a great experience for Lana to really trust her intuition and to understand her gifts more. And that's just going to be coming up more and more, Lanny. You've got the Ace of Wands. You're free of the need to explain yourself to anyone or anything. But these powers are going to be increasing like a bright torch. And in no way, shape, or form hide that light under a basket. These are going to be increasing big time. That was just a preview. What you just went through was just like a preview, and there's greater things coming for you and with you. Okay. So while we're bringing Duncan on, I'll pull Lana another card, and then I wanted to introduce Duncan. I'm going to just let him say hello, and then we'll end the show. But this is kind of a practice to where we don't have to run the program separately, and then all of a sudden your phones beep up and I'm on the show and out of time. So I want to bring him on, so at least I give a bit of a preview for him. And just holler at me, Kenan, when you're ready, or when Duncan's ready. And then the second card for you, Lanny, is the truce card. Sometimes you have to back off and let people battle it out themselves. That's the best place for you. It's allowing other people to get their learning. And anywhere where you can help, you will. And you'll be guided in order to do that. Okay? So let me know when I'm ready.
I need about another 30 seconds.
What's that?
I need about another 30 seconds.
Okay, Kenan needs another 30 seconds. Okay.
We're getting Zoom working for the first time here. Thank you all for bearing with us.
Yeah, we're getting Zoom ready for the first time, so thank you all for bearing with us It's been a while, and this is a new technology that we're trying to incorporate into the program, so we want to make sure it works. I'm gonna so Lana, I'm gonna go back to you here because I'm like, what is this? It's you have doilies. You know how, like my mom used to make doilies, like crochet.
He's on.
Okay.
So he,
Anyway, there's someone around you that does crochet, or did crochet. We're ready? Okay, here we're going to bring Duncan on. I'm going to have him say hello. I want to make sure the sound works. I want to make sure you can hear him.
here we go.
Okay.
So,
And let me know if you can see the screen. Hey, Duncan.
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Good. I wanted you to just introduce yourself. I want to make sure the sound works, that everybody can hear you.
Well, hey, everybody. My name is Duncan Hepburn. I am a neuroscientist. I'm originally from Canada. I studied at the University of British Columbia. My specialty is in brain dysfunction and recovery. So essentially any physical abnormality in the brain that leads to any sort of dysfunction. That could be mental illness, it could be strokes, it could be something kind of more serious or less serious. I am a member of the Society of Healthcare Innovation, and yeah, I just really like the brain.
So Kat says that there's an echo, so we might have to turn off my microphone.
they can hear you now, so you can.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll shut off my microphone to make sure it clears up the echo.
Yeah, absolutely. And just stop me if it gets bad here at any point in time. Well, personally, I'm from Canada. I was on the Olympic team, made the 2016 games. A lot of the area of my research and the area of my clinical practice is just about kind of helping normal people achieve excellence through kind of brain pathways and through neurological means. So, for a lot of us, we really want something that will kind of make us feel better and make us function at 100%. But not a lot of us know that there's a lot of biological mechanisms in the brain that really kind of prevent us from doing that. So a good example is, if you have 20% less dopamine than a normal person, then, you can talk to therapists, you can do energy healing, whatever, till the cows come home. You're going to have a bit of a glass ceiling in terms of what your function's actually going to be. So that's where I come in. I do the analysis on the brain, on functioning, stuff like that, and just see where those blockages are. So, you can think of it kind of like blocked roadways in a city. We just clear the construction so traffic flows a lot easier.
Well, we look forward to having you on the show and talking a little bit more about it on Wednesday. You can hear me okay, Duncan?
I can hear you totally fine, yep.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I love you all. We'll see you Wednesday night, and we'll see you Wednesday night, Duncan. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.